Olive found herself outside a trendy city coffee shop with a lively disco right next door. There were stylish and fashionable animals everywhere she looked.
Cake, what a cool street,
said Olive, who was wearing a colourful apron with steaming frothy coffees printed all over it. She was admiring the two huge model coffee beans on either side of the shop entrance when suddenly an anteater burst through the doors and out onto the street.
Mama Mocha, I don't believe it.
I'm Olive. Is everything okay?
No, it's not okay. I am Signora Don Mochaccino, the best coffee connoisseur in all of London town. My guests will be here any moment for my coffee shop's grand relaunch, and everything is going wrong.
What's the problem, Signore Don?
Not again.
But Cake, who are they?
They are a group of naughty espresso mucho jumbo coffee beans. Olive, I need help to catch those crazy coffee beans before they destroy my new shop.
Olive and Don rushed into the shop to try and catch the jumping beans.
Come here.
But they didn't have much luck. The beans were always one jump ahead, knocking over racks of coffee jars, rows of cups, bags of sugar, everything.
Phew! These beans are seriously jumping!
With all the commotion, Olive tripped and tumbled into Don, sending both of them somersaulting out of the front door and crashing into the two huge model coffee beans.
Get me out of here!
Oh, how are we ever going to catch these coffee beans?
Olive noticed that the beans were copying Don as he hopped around trying to free himself. Then she spotted the dancers leaping around to the music in the next door disco.
Jumping coffee beans? A disco? I think I may have an idea.
Olive popped the remaining big model coffee bean over her and started to jump around with Don.
Keep jumping, Don, and follow me into the disco!
Okay, Olive.
Don followed Olive, jumping along into the disco, and the coffee beans followed them too, in a coffee conga line. Soon all the coffee beans were jumping around happily and safely inside the disco. Finally, back in the coffee shop, the chaos was over.
Perfecto. I will make you a cup of a very special coffee to say thank you for getting rid of those mucho jumbo coffee beans.
Oh, well, I'm not sure if I really like coffee.
But you have not tasted my coffee. Un momento.
Don expertly operated the various grinding, steaming, squirting and mixing devices on his coffee machine to create the perfect cup of coffee for Olive to drink.
I am calling this new coffee my Olivo Cappuccino. It will be the latest coffee sensation.
Actually, this Olivo Cappuccino does taste perfecto.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I helped inspire a perfecto cappuccino.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself on a stage with lots of animals playing musical instruments. She was wearing a long black jacket with tails. At the front of the musicians, Olive could see a man waving his arms all over the place.
Oh dear.
Olive turned and saw an octopus playing a xylophone. She seemed to be getting her 8 legs in a terrible tangle.
I'm Olive. Is everything okay?
I'm Jenny. Oh, the conductor's going way too fast today.
Is the conductor the man waving his arms around over there?
That's him.
Said a little mouse, frantically banging on a big bass drum next to Jenny.
I'm Barry, and I can't keep up either.
Olive watched the conductor. His arms were almost a blur.
Where is the triangle that goes ting? Quick, the triangle. You have to play it. Jenny's too tangled up.
Okay. How does it work?
Just hit it with a little stick.
The conductor pointed at Olive, and she hit the triangle. But Jenny went even faster until she couldn't keep up either.
What happened to the big round thing that goes crash?
He means those cymbals. Can you play them too? Just pick them up by the straps and crash them together.
Like this?
Not now, when I point at you.
The orchestra kept playing and the conductor kept conducting even faster.
Triangle, cymbals, triangle, cymbals.
Shouted the conductor at Olive. She had to run back and forth, switching between the two instruments as fast as she could.
Ow!
Finally, the piece was finished. The orchestra and Olive collapsed exhausted. But now the audience were coming in and finding their seats. That was only a rehearsal. They still had to play the piece all over again.
This is a nightmare. My orchestra is exhausted. What are we going to do?
But why is he still waving his arms?
There was definitely something funny going on. So she decided to go and talk to the conductor.
Excuse me, I'm Olive. Could you please slow down a bit?
Slow down. No, I cannot do this because of the problem I am having with this pesky fly.
The conductor swatted at a fly buzzing round his head, and Olive realised that was why he'd been waving his arms so fast.
I can't get rid of it.
A pesky fly, some cymbals. I think I may have an idea.
Olive grabbed the cymbals and set off, chasing the fly through the orchestra, over the cellos, round the tubas, in between the violins and under the piano.
Come here, fly!
The fly was pretty fast, but Olive didn't give up.
Pecking!
Then there was silence. Olive held the cymbals tightly together and listened. She could hear the fly buzzing around inside. The audience and orchestra all clapped loudly.
That was the first ever performance of the Fly and Cymbal Concerto by Olive the Ostrich.
The fly finally buzzed off, right out of the concert hall. Barry and Jenny ran over to Olive.
Well done, Olive. You've got a real knack with those cymbals.
Yes, that was amazing. It would be great if you could join our orchestra.
Thanks for the offer, but I really must fly.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Peg, actually, I caught a fly and played in an orchestra.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was under a table. She could just see a little man wearing checked trousers shuffling around and could hear pots and pans banging about.
Peg, I think I'm in a kitchen.
Olive jumped out to say hello.
Hello?
Said Olive a bit too loudly. The little man jumped and spilled all the flour he had in his mixing bowl onto the floor.
Oh, hey, you made me a jump, and now my pizza mix is ruined.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. My name is Luigi, and this is my famous pizza restaurant.
I'm Olive. You seem really busy.
Today is a very special day. It's the pizza competition. I must win it again this year, and the judges will be here soon.
Maybe I could help you make the pizza.
Si, great idea, Olive.
Olive and Luigi got to work.
Like this.
Luigi showed her how to whirl the pizza in the air to make it big and round. It was going well until Olive lost control of the whirling pizza and it shot across the kitchen, hit the fan in the corner, and pieces of dough went everywhere.
Oh, no.
Cried Luigi.
Now we'll never make the pizza in time. Even if I could make the base, we'll never be able to chop up all the pizza toppings.
A fan, some pizza toppings. I think I may have an idea. We can use the fan to quickly chop all the ingredients.
It's worth a try.
Luigi rolled out a new pizza base in double quick time. Olive picked up the ingredients they needed for the topping. She juggled with the tomatoes first, then threw them towards the fan. The fan whizzed, and slices of tomato flew through the air towards Luigi, who caught some on his pizza, although a few ended up stuck to the walls, the floor, and the ceiling. Next, Olive and Luigi did the same with a sausage. And finally, a banana. Luigi caught them all perfectly and popped the finished pizza into the oven. It was nearly time for the judges to arrive. And the pizza was ready just in time. The judges all looked very excited to be eating Luigi's delicious pizza, and Olive was sure he would win the prize again. Olive carried the pizza over on a special silver plate. But just as she was about to serve the pizza, she slipped on a piece of tomato. She slipped over, sending the pizza sailing high up into the air. Olive skidded and bumped across the floor, finishing right in front of the judges. A moment later, the pizza landed right on her head. The judges did not look impressed. Olive had to think quickly.
Pizza is served, and it's called Olive Surprise.
For a moment, the judges looked very serious, but then they burst out laughing. They ate some slices of pizza and decided it was wonderful. Luigi was awarded a special prize for the most exciting pizza ever.
Thank you so much, Olive. You saved the day.
That's okay, Luigi. Maybe I can get a free pizza next time I come in.
Of course.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I helped Luigi make an Olive Surprise.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing in a huge room with large pictures on the walls and big, oddly shaped objects all over the place.
Oh, what a colourful place.
Suddenly, Olive heard a voice.
Where did I put them?
One of the objects began to move. It was a seagull. It wore a beret and was waving around a paintbrush. Olive jumped.
I didn't notice you back there. I'm Olive.
Greetings. I'm Vincent van Gogh, famous artist and sculptor. This is my gallery, and these are my paintings and sculptures. You like them, yes?
Oh, they're fantastic.
Exclaimed Olive.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very talented, it's true. But I just need to paint one more painting on this blank canvas for my big exhibition. Problem is, I can't find my tubes of paint. God!
Then Olive noticed something shining on one of the sculptures.
A telescope? I think I may have an idea.
Olive looked through the telescope for clues, and on the floor she spotted some drips of paint. She followed the trail of paint over to a sculpture of a man having a good old think.
Here's one.
Said Olive, throwing it down to Vincent.
My green paint!
Here's another.
My yellow paint!
Olive continued to follow the trail, finding Vincent's tubes of paint in all sorts of interesting places. She found Vincent's blue paint, his orange paint, and his purple paint. Vincent was very pleased.
Oh, yes, I must have left my paints in my great works of art as I was creating them. Well spotted, Olive. You have the eye of a great artist.
Thanks very much.
But where is my lucky color? Red.
Hey, I think I see it.
Olive had spotted it at the very top of the tallest sculpture in the room.
How are we going to reach that?
Don't worry, Vincent. I'll get it.
Olive jumped up on the sculpture and started to climb. She reached out and just managed to knock the paint down to Vincent.
Well done, Olive.
He exclaimed.
Now I have all my paints.
As Olive cheered, she lost her balance.
Look out!
Olive landed on top of Vincent, who dropped his tubes of paint, which squirted all over Olive as they hit the ground. Cried Olive as she stumbled backwards, covered in paint, and fell onto the blank canvas.
Oh, no. Are you all right, Olive?
I'm okay, but I think I've ruined your canvas.
But when Olive pulled herself away from the canvas, on it was an amazing multicoloured painting of Olive.
it's spectacular!
exclaimed Vincent.
It's a masterpiece, the best in my big exhibition.
Hey, I've always wanted to be in a painting.
Giggled Olive. They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I had a painting in an art exhibition.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself on a large float surrounded by colourful decorations. She was wearing a beautiful headdress and could hear amazing music.
Oh, wow. I love that beat.
Just then, she heard a strange sound and turned to see a flamboyant peacock drying his feathers with a hairdryer.
Perfecto.
Wow. I like your feathers.
Oh, gracias. My name is Fernando, the Carnival King with beautiful colors.
That's a long name. I'm Olive, the, ostrich with blue and white feathers.
And they are beautiful feathers. Welcome to the Rio Carnival, Olive.
Thanks. What's the Rio Carnival?
It's the greatest street party of the year, right here in Rio, Brazil.
Oh, I love parties.
Then you are just the assistant I need. Can you help me decorate my carnival float and stick up all these colorful garlands, please?
Okay.
As Olive picked up one of the garlands, it unfurled like a long, wiggly snake.
Oh, this is tricky.
You're doing great, Olive. Just need to stick it to the float with some sticky tape. Now, time for Fernando to blow up his masterpiece.
Fernando attached a big floppy balloon to a balloon-blowing machine and turned it on. The balloon quickly filled with air and became an amazing giant bird.
It will be the biggest balloon in the carnival.
But now Olive was getting in a real muddle with the paper garland.
Oh, dear.
She had somehow got it tangled around her legs and couldn't reach the sticky tape on the floor. As she stretched to grab it, Olive toppled backwards
Ow!
and knocked over the balloon blower, breaking off the lever.
Oh no, my balloon is getting bigger and bigger.
The balloon blower blew and blew until Fernando's special balloon finally went pop, and the balloon blower ran out of air.
My balloon blower, what a disaster.
Attention, the carnival will begin in 1 minute.
1 minute? What can we do, Olive?
Sticky tape? A hairdryer? I think I may have an idea.
With Fernando's help, Olive used the sticky tape to seal the hole in the balloon, and together they blew it up using Fernando's hairdryer. The balloon got bigger and bigger,
It's working, Olive.
but the hairdryer was filling the giant balloon with hot air, which rises, and soon the balloon floated right off the ground.
Cake!
Olive held on tightly to the balloon,
My balloon!
and Fernando held on tightly to Olive's legs.
The carnival is starting!
Olive and Fernando floated up into the sky, away from the carnival.
Olive, we have to get down!
Don't worry, Fernando.
Olive reached up the side of the balloon and tore off the tape. As the air escaped through the hole, the balloon sent Olive and Fernando soaring across the sky. They whizzed about all over the place until the balloon ran out of air. The empty balloon parachuted them safely down, and they both landed back on the float, and the deflated balloon dropped onto her head like a headdress. They looked magnificent, and they got a huge round of applause.
Olive the ostrich with the blue and white feathers, you are my carnival queen.
You know, Fernando, I could almost burst with pride.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Cake? Actually, I was carnival queen at the Rio Carnival.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.